This is Scott Spears, and as you know, coming up on Saturday, February the 8th, 2014, Valentine's Violence is coming, presented by Classic Championship Wrestling at the Steve Hogg Rec Center, 775 North Main Street here in Marion. We just recently found out, added to that spectacular card, which is going to feature Nikolai Volkov versus the Russian Brute in a flag match. Nikolai Volkov representing America, the Russian Brute representing Russia. In the Russian Brute's corner, a man he knows very well, Ox Baker. The original, the one and only, Mr. Fantastic Ox Baker will be in the Russian Brute's corner, the first time those two have worked together in nearly 30 years. But with this big card coming up, we got a call from a man who's very familiar with Ox Baker, very familiar with the Classic Championship Wrestling organization, and very familiar with the Russian Brute. His name, Bobo Brazil Jr., and he is hot on the tracks of Mr. Ox Baker. Let's go to Bobo's home via Skype for this very revealing message. Bobo? This is Scott Spears, and coming up here in Marion, Ohio on Saturday night, February the 8th, we've got a huge spectacular being put on by Classic Championship Wrestling. It is Valentine Violence. All kinds of great matches going on. It's going to be held at the Steve Hogg Rec Center, located at 775 North Main Street, with a 7 p.m. start time. People already signed on this event. Nikolai Volkov, the legend, in a flag match versus the Russian Brute. Ox Baker, the original, the one and only, will be reuniting with the Russian Brute after a 30-year absence. It's going to be amazing. And, of course, the Russian Brute will be representing Russia, Nikolai Volkov representing America on that night in that very important flag match. As we all know, other big matches going on that night. Uncle Hogg will be in action. We have Mikey the Maniac showing up. More to come, but one man who's going to be there, a man who has a very long and large history with Ox Baker, a man who called me on the telephone 2 days ago and said, Scott, if Ox Baker is going to be at Valentine's Violence, I'm going to be at Valentine's Violence. He is the legendary son of a legend, Bobo Brazil Jr. Bobo, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Scott. How about yourself?
Doing very well. Tell me what happened. We booked this show, and we heard that you were busy, but when you heard Ox was going to be on the show, you said, I want to be there.
Yes, I went on and canceled my other bookings with the different federation that I was booked with. I said I got to be there because, you know, Scott Ox, I don't know how he did it, but somehow or another, he got the win, and he become the CCW champion. I mean, the oldest champion in history. I know he must feel good about it, but he got to realize it was 20 other men there that want to be the champion. And somehow or another, he slipped it over the Sons of the Legends. So I went out and stopped all kind of ways to try to get this man booked. I talked to all kind of promoters, announcers back in the days and stuff, and then they came up with an idea. Said, once, you know, I know that your father wrestled Ox, and he had the beautiful black, red, and gold jacket and a pair of red boots. And I said, you know, I have that at home. I've been saving it. Now, what you're looking at now, this jacket behind me, it's over 60 years old. The boots right here that I'm holding up in front of you is the one that I've seen him kick Ox Baker in the head several times. And I know this must be bad memory to Ox Baker, to see the roll, to see the boots come back again. So, you know, I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put my pride and joy up, that all I have left of my father, to get one more shot at Ox Baker. And if I can't do the job there, I don't know what I'm going to do, because if I lose this, I lose my career. I will not wrestle again. I don't have nothing to hold on to wrestle for, if you understand where I'm coming from.
Bobo, I want to make sure I got this right. You're telling me that you are coming to Valentine Violence on February the 8th to lay a challenge man-to-man, nose-to-nose with the legendary Ox Baker, with the stipulation that if you lose this time, and he has beat you before, you said it yourself, You are going to give your fathers the legendary Bobo Brazil's jacket and boots. You know those will go over Ox Baker's mantle.
Yes, you know, Ox, when he sees this, I know what's going to happen. He's going to get excited. He's going to get scared. I don't even know if he's going to take the deal, Scott. But I'm putting up all I got for this match.
So when you come on February the 8th to challenge him, you're going to have these items on February the 8th to lay down the challenge to Ox Baker.
Yes, I am. Right there in CCW Arena. I'm going to bring the jacket. I'm going to bring the boots. And I'm also going to bring 280 pounds of Bobo Brazil Jr. with all of this.
Bobo, there's two other things I got. That's amazing. That's a tremendous announcement. And your career, if you lose against Ox, whenever that match is signed, if he takes you up on it, if you lose, the career's done.
Yes, I understand that. And you know what? I will sign a contract that said I will never wrestle again if I don't beat Ox.
Well, let me touch on two other things real quick here, Bobo, because Valentine's Violence is going to be a huge event. And one of the reasons is you're not only coming to confront Ox on that night, but you're booked in a match with a newcomer to Classic Championship Wrestling, very tough guy, the Outlaw Jack Hansen.
You know, I'm going to send a message to the Outlaw. You know, Outlaw, I got something that no other man got. No other man could put down in that ring. Was a gift to me from my father. I have the big cocoa butt, and I also have one of the biggest hands in professional wrestlers. Don't mind taking it out. Don't mind dishing it in. What I bring, I can also bring back. I hope you done dotted your I's and crossed all your T's. Because you know what, Outlaw? I'm coming for one thing, that Ox Baker, nothing going to stand in the way. So you as a newcomer coming in, you better get your homework done before you get in the ring with Bobo.
We have to mention one thing about that match, Bobo. In the Outlaw's corner, Outlaw Jack Hansen's corner, will be a man you're very familiar with, the man who is the manager of Ox Baker, Percival A. Friend.
Yep. Percival, snake in the grass. I do know. Well, you know what, Percival? I have your number too. I know what you're capable of, and I know what you'll do. Don't make me put another trash can over your head. This time, I would hit you with the big cocoa butt. You know, when I hit you last time, oh, you complain. Oh, you had doctors calling me, asking me that I had a steel plate in my head. You had lawyers calling me. This time, you won't be able to have a doctor to call me because you're going to be in the hospital. You won't be able to have a lawyer to call me because you're not going to be able to speak. So don't stick your nose in this business of mine. You understand? Best thing for you to do is stay on the outside of that ring and keep your eye on Ox, not me, because, you know, that night, Volkov is coming to take care of the brute, and I'm going to be in the corner there, too, that night. And I know Ox is going to be scared when he see both of us putting down what we got to lay down that night.
Now, wait a second, Bobo. You just dropped a bomb on us there. We know the main event that night is one for the ages. The night after the opening ceremony of the Olympics being held in Russia, the very next night, we've got a flag match. I don't know if the fans know this. I hope they do. Ox Baker reuniting with the Russian Brute after 30 years, I believe it is, to take on the...
30 years. And you know what, Scott? I said it, but I'm no stranger to the Brute. The Brute knows me. He knows what I can do. 30 years ago, I pinned the Brute. 32 years ago, I had a shot at Ox Baker and the Brute interfered. This time, the Brute better watch me, not Volkov.
Well, let's say this. Nikolai Volkov is in the other corner representing America. This is going to be a heck of a match because not only pride is on the line for Nikolai Volkov and Russian Brute, but the flag of your country, the anthem, will be played that night. It's historic times. So are you saying you're going to watch the legendary Hall of Famer Nikolai Volkov's back?
I'm going to watch his back because we're very close friends. I got a phone call from him. He asked me, he says, Bobo, would you do one thing for me when you get there in Marion, Ohio at CCW Arena? And I asked him, what was that? He said, would you accompany me to the ring? And I said, sure, I'd be glad to do that and stand in your corner because I know the trick that Ox and the Brute would try.
So are you saying that maybe you and Ox could come to blows during that match? What if he does try to interfere? You know he's not above it.
You know, if he tries to interfere, Scott, you seen me hit some demonstrating headbutts. You seen me throw some demonstrating chops. But you had never seen me hit him with the iron cocoa butt before. And that's what's going to happen if he interferes. He may not be able to come back for another match if he stick his nose in Barco's business.
You know he's got that world title with him. He loves that thing. He's put it up over his mantle at home, and he has told me he no longer wants to be known as Ox Baker. He wants to be known as Soviet Premier Baker.
I have to give him credit. Right now he is the champion. He's the man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And Ox, I'm coming to beat you, buddy. I'm telling you that. 1, 2, 3, because I'm putting up everything. I have asked my sister about it. I asked my brother about putting all this up. And they said, where's your heart at? I said, defeating the man that think that he defeated my father. And that's what I'm coming at. Ox, I'm coming for you no matter what I got to do. If I had to put my house up, my car up, I'm going to come at that CCW Heavyweight Championship belt.
Let me just get your thoughts on one thing, Bobo, before we get out of here. I know you're a very busy man. You're going to be in Nikolai's corner, but Nikolai is facing the Russian Brute, a newcomer to CCW, but not a newcomer to the wrestling business. 6'9", 350 pounds of the Russian Brute. Can Nikolai take this guy lightly?
No, you can't take the Brute lightly. I know the Brute. Like I said, I've been knowing him for 30-something years. I've been on many events with him. I've been in the ring with him. He's got that heart punch, which Nikolai got to watch out for. Something that Ox taught him, a trade that Ox taught him. And you know what? That's why I'm going to be in Nikolai's corner watching all of this. Tell me when he get ready to set for that hard punch. But you know, Nikolai, don't take him shortly neither. Because he's a Hall of Famer. He has won many tag team champions and many champions. World's heavyweight champion. And you know what? He's coming to be with the legend that night.
It's going to be amazing. Bobo Brazil Jr., the son of a legend, in action against the outlaw Jack Hansen with Percival Friend in his corner. A confrontation is going to take place right in the middle of the ring. The legendary Bobo Sr.'s boots and jacket will be there as Bobo Jr. makes the challenge to Ox Baker, the career on the line for a future date in CCW if Ox accepts. And then you've got the gigantic flag match. The Russian Brute reunites with Ox Baker after 30 years to take on Nikolai Volkov representing America with the son of a legend in his corner. That's the latest news. My goodness, February the 8th is going to be the hottest night this year in wrestling, no doubt about it. Steve Hogg Rec Center, 775 North Main Street in Marion. You don't want to miss this. Bobo, I will see you on the 8th.
I'll be there.
Bobo Brazil Jr., what amazing announcements we got out of this interview. One, on Valentine Violence, he will be there to confront Ox Baker with his father's boots and robe. 60 years old. The history behind that stuff is absolutely amazing. And he's going to try to bribe Ox Baker into a match sometime in the future. Also, Bobo's not just coming to confront Ox, he's coming to be in action against the outlaw Jack Hansen, managed by the epitome of wrestling managers Percival A. Friend. That match will happen at Valentine Violence. And then to top it all off, Bobo felt that Nikolai needed somebody in his corner to overcome the Russian Brute. He takes up that charge. It's going to be an amazing night, fans. You better be there. It's Valentine Violence, February the 8th, 2014, Steve Hogg Rec Center, located at 775 North Main Street. You can get your tickets, $8 a piece, by going to US Gold, 1207 Mount Vernon Avenue here in Marion, or calling 740-802-4337. It's going to be a spectacular mega event. You won't want to miss it.